It's about time.
I am one of those girls who never go home. One of those girls you hear about when you sit around the fire. One of those girls aunties and uncles do not approve of. I am one of those girls who never go home. Home, according to everyone around me, is a land far away from anything I am familiar with. It is a beautiful village in the north that I have not returned to in months. Home, they say, is where your roots are. What they do not tell you is that home is built from ordinary bricks wherever you are. They do not tell you that homes are more about what you do for your pillars than what they do for you. I am one of those girls who never return home. Instead, I wander streets of foreign lands in search of links to my ancestors. I walk up and down pavements paved with the hopes of boys and girls who want to be CEOs in buildings as tall as their dreams. I sometimes find myself running to catch buses headed towards destiny, because when you miss them, there is no telling when they will return. I am one of those girls who never return home. So I have built myself a new one in this city with inspiration lurking around every corner, this city with ambition in every breath I take, this city that keeps on giving and giving and giving. This city, this space is my home. I owe this city so much, just as much life as it affords me. I owe this city carriageways that are not choking on boxes of empty promises. I owe this city space to grow, to fully become what is able to become. I owe this city systems that are able to manage waste as easily as it manages to sustain all of us. I owe this city just as much life as it affords me. I am one of those girls who never return home. But you, this has always been your home. This city is the only home you will ever know. You owe this city so much gratitude and care and love. You owe this city so much life. It is finally time for you to take action and give back to this city. Thank you. My second piece is entitled "Of Lands Far Away." Where I come from, the sun does not shine. We sit silently under skies colored a disgusting shade of orange during the day, and we daydream about the sights of our childhood. We force our minds to bring back images of blue skies and yellow flowers and rainbow-colored dreams. We shake our heads slightly at the memory of those little songs that put us to sleep in our mother's arms. Then we wipe away tears that fall down faces that have seen better days. Where I come from, we have no dreams of brighter days. The only dreams we have come in shades of gray, because once upon a time we carried the rainbow in our hands. But given the number of women who miscarry these days, who can blame us for losing the color in our eyes? Sometimes we go days, even weeks, without so much as the prospect of seeing a woman smile. You wouldn't like it where I'm from. And that's if you even made it through one day, because there is something about being surrounded by nobodies with nowhere to go and nothing to do that simply drains the life out of your soul. So at the end of it all, you are left exactly like the rest of us. Young, yet wrinkled, heart beating, yet crippled, with the fractional strength of the feeble, and always always right there on the front line, yet always so invisible. Where I come from, nobody exists. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for Pindu, please. What a great performance. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me welcome my co-host, Gloria. Good evening. Sure. So, we'd like to announce that the Honorable Minister of Forest and Natural Resources is here. Nancy Tembo, MP. Welcome, Honorable Minister. And your entourage from the ministry, please feel free. All the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you will forgive us tonight. We will not do much of the protocols again and again, but please feel welcome and relax wherever you are. Why are we here, Gloria? Just a little bit.
Thank you, Matthew. I'm very excited to be here tonight, by the way. We have waited a very long time for this night. A huge part of it comes from the celebration of the Thin Plastics ban, which is the starting point for us as SEPA on the work that we've been doing on waste management. Now, just a brief background on the work that we do as SEPA. We work on the environmental policy front, and we do a lot of policy advocacy. Our work focuses on natural resources, biodiversity, and climate change. And all of these three areas tie into the waste problem. And so tonight, we're going to be celebrating the strides that we have made as a country in terms of waste management with the launch of the National Waste Management Strategy. But we're also going to be celebrating the launch of a campaign, a commitment from everyone in this room that we will be part of the implementation of the waste management strategy, but also that in our homes and in our communities, we're going to change how we ourselves behave in terms of the waste that we generate, how we manage our waste, and how much more we can do to solve the waste problem in Malawi. So it's not just about Blantyre City, but Blantyre City is a very exciting place to start.
Thank you so much indeed, Gloria. We go straight into the speeches. And I think it would be great that we first of all invite the Deputy Mayor for the city of Blantyre. This is Councillor Joseph Makwinja, just to give us his welcoming remarks. Since we're in your city, may you please give Councillor Joseph Makwinja a round of applause as he walks to the podium. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Honorable Nancy Tembo MP, Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources, Principal Secretary for the Ministry of Forestry and Natural Resources, Director of Environmental Affairs, and all members of staff from the Environmental Affairs Department, the Board Chairperson for SEPA, Dr. Alfred Chanza, if available, Honorable Ismail Nkumba, Member of Parliament for this area, Chairperson for Health and Environmental Committee for Blantyre City Council, present here, councillors, our chiefs, SEPA Executive Director, and all members of staff, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister, let me welcome you, the Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources, Honorable Nancy Tembo, MP, to Blantyre City, and especially to this amazing and wonderful event where we are celebrating the launch of Waste Management Project. Bearing the slogan, My City, My Space, along with the launch of the National Waste Management Strategy, which you have taken it to us here in Blantyre City. This is to demonstrate your determination and commitment to see that cities are in the lead to implement this strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, waste management is at the heart of Blantyre City Council's municipal services. It is one of our core areas of service delivery, and with rapid population growth in the city, it is becoming more challenging to deliver this service to the satisfaction of the residents. On our own, we cannot serve you adequately. It is becoming apparent that waste management needs a multiplayer approach. It is for this reason that we are more excited about the coming in of SEPA, and we look forward to more stakeholders joining hands with us in managing the waste in the city. Blantyre City could be more cleaner if all residents take care the cleanness of waste they live, work, and do business. The council, in its effort to engage residents, has been running a Healthy Week campaign and clean premises competition. The latter was previously known as Clean Homes Competition. This is since 2017 to encourage every resident to take part in the cleaning of the city. However, the campaign have not been carried out for the past 2 years due to COVID-19 pandemic, as the campaign attracts a large gathering of people. In this view, we were pleased and encouraged by the launch of National Cleanup Day by the State President, His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, which recognizes us to do more together. Our citizen engagement effort will no longer be done in a vacuum, but within the platform of this National Clean Up Day initiative. We are aware that the behavior change doesn't happen overnight. That is why, despite all these efforts, there are people who still think maintaining a clean city should only be left in the hands of the council. Therefore, the council is welcoming the civil society organizations to support these efforts to reach every resident in the city for mindset change to happen. Honorable Minister, on a special note, I wish to congratulate your ministry for successfully winning the court case on the ban of thin plastics. We believe that would reduce the environment misuse that these high plastics have been causing. Our vehicles are very old, resulting in frequent breakdowns. On top of that, surpass are very scarce due to the phasing out of some of the old vehicles models by dealers. We go to the extent of hiring vehicles to collect garbage. Honorable Minister, hiring a private refuse collection vehicle is not sustainable because our financial resources bucket is too small. The council has numerous other responsibilities requiring financial resources, including that of ensuring that the roads infrastructure in the city are in a good shape. The council has to make sure that street lights are functioning, and for your information, Honorable Minister, we pay ESCOM at a commercial rate. There are many other public services that we provide for free. The council is concentrated. We know that it is a high time some of these services were left in the hands of the private sector to manage. The council can only act as regulator to make sure residents are served well. Honorable Minister, I would like to share with you that the council, along with its partners, is adopting a new concept in waste management, including recycling and recovering from waste materials. For instance, the composition of briquette making projects in partnership with waste advisors is one of such concepts to mention. We are aware that a number of private businesses are carrying out recycling activities in the city using different waste materials, including material, plastic, paper, among others. That such activities require government support in the form of tax incentives, either for their business or when. I also like to mention that the council is supporting the long-term investment on a waste to energy project by including it as one of our public sector reform project, although it is being pursued by a private sector. We trust that the government will support this investment proposal and accept the process of approval. In conclusion, I would like to sincerely thank SEFA and their funders for bringing this project to Blantyre City. I'm already alluded to, if we join hands, we can achieve more in the area of waste management. Once more, I want to welcome and thank Honorable Nancy Tembo MP, Minister of Forestry, Natural Resources, for honoring the invitation to preside over the launch of this pen. May God bless our effort in the city. May God bless all of us. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause. The next part of our evening is going to be a poetry performance from Q Malawi. I'm sure some of you are wondering why we are doing a campaign instead of buying beans or putting up structures. Well, we'll talk a little more about that, but this part is also a very important aspect of the waste management strategy. A huge part of it is instilling the sense of responsibility and helping people become more aware. So the campaign is very much in support of the strategy in that sense. And one of those aspects is supporting the youth in becoming part of this campaign, in them bringing their own creativity to the table and expressing themselves, how they feel about the different challenges we're facing in the environmental sector in Malawi, and particularly in waste management. I would like to just mention our partner Tironse Foundation, who has partnered with us in this project. Thank you very much and for making this possible tonight. Q Malawi.
Good evening. It's good to still be regarded as a youth. It's an honor for me to be here, and thank you very much for the invitation to SEPA, to this very, very important, to the launch of this very important campaign. It's very, very essential that we manage the waste that we produce better. I've got two performances for you this evening. The first one is titled Wikipedia, and it's description of different words in different contexts. This was written, I think, in 2009. Yeah, but it's something that I like sharing. So before I start, I would like to mention that all opinions expressed by the poet remain that of the poet. My legal counsel is here. So I hope you enjoy my performances. Malawi is a country in which over 60% of its people live in poverty. Poverty is a registered trademark of most African countries. It is also a state of mind. Mind the gap, a caution. Mind is also a concept constituted by conscious experience and intelligent thought. Thought leads to action, hence is suppressed by oppressive regimes. Regime is a word that originated from the French. French are the people of France who overthrew an absolute monarchy in 3 years. It is also their language. Language is a complex system of communication, and communication is what women value and men fear. Fear is a weapon used to suppress the mind. It is also a way of recognizing danger. Danger is when minds oppressed by burst. Some say the verge of where we were, which is the past tense of are, a collective state of being, and also the first letter of the word revolution. Revolution is a word that contains another word, love, only spelled backwards. It also brings fear to regimes that abuse power. Power is one of the most addictive drugs, and also something ESCOM doesn't have. Have, if you add an S, becomes haves, describing a small group of people who have more than they need. Need is a word that rhymes with greed, something some haves have indeed. Indeed is a word used to amplify the previous statement. Amplify the previous statement. Statement is what art should make, whether you dance, recite, act, or paint. It is also where you discover little hidden charged amounts the banks never tell you about. Turn means to change direction, something we need to learn. Learn is to acquire new skill, knowledge, or behavior, yet remains a mystery, for we never seem to learn from history. History is information about the past, and like all information is subject to generalization, distortion, and omission. Omission in Catholicism is failure to do what we ought to do. If done knowingly, it is considered a sin. Sin is when man, woman, or angel assumes too much power and sits on God's throne. Throne is where a monarch sits and has no place in a republic. Republic means a public affair in which the people retain supreme control over government. Government is a small group of people with power to make decisions on behalf of the people. All countries, like Malawi, need one. One is a Metallica song from the album And Justice for All. It also symbolizes unity. Unity is what we need to strive for despite our differences. Differences are where our strength lies, but if not embraced, divide. Divide and conquer is a strategy used to gain and maintain power. Power has already been defined, but here is another. It is the first word of the revolutionary cry, power to the people. People, when preceded by the, becomes the people, referring to the masses whose power is in numbers. Numbers count. People don't, except for those who count votes. So I vote to learn how to count so I can solve complicated mathematical problems like 1 is the difference between the integers 13 and 14, whose squares add up to, Honorable Minister, 365. 365 are the total number of days we take to complete a revolution around sun. Sun worshipping Pharaoh Akhenaten moved his people into the desert to build a new capital just to worship the sun. Many young died from injuries related from heavy lifting. The sun is also the central symbol of the Malawi flag that has been changed from the rising sun to the risen sun and back to the rising sun. And they say this is to show where we've been to as a people. Our sun has risen. Malawi's sun has risen. Yet its sons and daughters remain in a deep sleep, 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 sleep. Sleep is what we do when greed, sin, hunger, and power blind our eyes from seeing our real risen Son. Thank you. In a quest to manage waste better, I think it all starts in the home. And as of now, how we're raising our children. So my second and last poem is a poem I've written for my daughter. She's 9 years old now. Her name is Tianjana. And I named her after my wife's late sister because I wanted to keep the memory of her name. So the title of this poem is 10 Things That I Want to Say to My Daughter. And it also goes out to all fathers with daughters. If you're here, just raise your hand. If you're, yeah. So this is for you. So 10 things I want to say to my daughter. 1, dream. Dream until the line between reality and fantasy is blurred. Dream until your eyes chisel the clouds into the most beautiful forms of your imagination, just with a single blink. Know that your mind is a paintbrush, so use only the most beautiful thoughts on your palette to paint your world of oysters. 2, laugh. Laugh out loud, laugh deeply, laugh heartily, laugh unrestrained for as long as you wish. You can even roll on the floor whilst you're at it, and never let anyone tell you it is unladylike. For laughter is a language that knows no translation, the ultimate expression of a soul's freedom. 3, dance joyfully, like your mother. It is a celebration of who we are. You see, God plays a rhythm on his drum just for you, dear child, and your heart is a metronome. So listen to his beat between your heartbeat. And when you catch a bad case of 2 left feet, just follow these steps. 1, stop. 2, be still. 3, trust, and they will come back to you. 4, being a black woman has everything to do with strength and resilience. So never use it as an excuse for anything. You are wonderfully made. Know that the blood of both your grandmothers flows fearlessly through you. 5, in my eyes, you will always be daddy's little girl, and no man will ever be good enough for you. So when you find that person, take heed to the words a mother once told her little boy at a similar time. She said, look beyond the charm and fluffy butterflies and make sure that the only thing remaining is a good person. Tianjana, if you must know, that little boy's good person is now your mother. 6, trust your instincts. They are usually right. When you're wrong, be strong enough to apologize. And when you get hurt, know that my shoulder is a sponge for all your tears, and your mother's seafood pasta will clear the fear from your path back to your 7th heaven, where lullaby-coated baby blankets will gently lay to rest any stray thought that dares rob you of your peace. 8, sit up straight. Walk with your head held high and always stand for what is right. 9, never be ashamed of who you are or what you have. Your inheritance is in the power of your name. Guard it with integrity. After all, you are my father's grandchild. 10, know for certain that life will happen. And when it does, don't let it rob God from your eyes. And if Chaura takes me to the heavens, know that I will inscribe these words on the entrance of a gallery of clouds. So all you have to do is just blink. And I will call upon your aunt, Tianjana, whose name you hold, your grandfather,
Philip Hilarium Solomba, your grandfather Justin Chimera Malewezi, and the rest of your family on the other side, and we will form a drum circle with God, and together we will play the most intricate of rhythms to the steady pace of your heartbeat. But for now, as I am here, I pray that your guardian angels cover you in heavenly melodies in the key of your favorite color. I imagine them sounding like a symphony of smiles and warm rain. Tianjana, Omaka, Rosina, Malewezi, I have said all I've ever had to say. And maybe it's time we played your favorite game. I will go hide, and you come find me after you count from 1 to 10. Rest in peace, Dad. Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Another big round of applause for Q Malawezi. Wonderful, wonderful. Just to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Minister, that the event is live on the TV. So it's quite exciting that we are sending out messages across, because we believe that waste management is everyone's business. Herbert Mwalukomo is at the helm and advocacy, SEPA, and shortly I'll be inviting him forward to make his brief remarks. However, let me also ask our technical team to make sure they set up a short video that we'd like to show this evening, depicting the waste management crisis in the city of Blantyre, later on in Malawi. We are here because we are launching the My City, My Space campaign. Vano chifukwa choti kuti tukhazikitsa ntchito imene ikufunikira kwambiri kuti mizinda yathu ikhale yabwino kwambiri, ikhalenso yokongola, chifukwa kuti mvetserani anthu ambirimbiri pa Facebook, pa TV, mzinda wa Blantyre komanso dziko la Malawi tikwena kuti tikhale tikusamalira zinyalala zathu. Ndiye bungwe la SEPA komanso Tilitonse Foundation ndi abwenzi osiyanasiyana akonza ndithu kampeni imeneyi kapena ntchito yapadera ifuna kulimbikitsa kuti tikhazikitse ntchito imene yosamalira mzinda wathu mwapaderadera, komanso kukhazikitsa ndondomeko yapadera yothandizira kuti dziko la Malawi lizichita bwino pa nkhani yosamalira zinyalala zosiyanasiyana kapena kuti National Waste Management Strategy. Ndi amene mukutitsatira pakanema takulandirani, komanso amene muli muno tipitirize ndithu kumvetsera zimene zikubwera madzulo ano. At the moment, Honorable Minister, allow me to invite Herbert Mwalukomo, like indicated earlier on. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Masters of Ceremonies. The Honorable Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources, Honorable Nancy Tembo, MP, the Deputy Mayor of the Blantyre City Council, Councillor Joseph Makwinja, the Director of Administration in the Ministry of Forestry and Natural Resources, Mr. Hilary Namainja, the Director of Environmental Affairs, who is also the Acting Director General for the Malawi Environmental Protection Authority, Madam Taonga Mbale, and all officials from Environmental Affairs Department and the Ministry of Forestry and Natural Resources here present. Councillor Philip Kameta, who is the Chairperson of the Health and Environment Committee of the Blantyre City Council. Mr. Robert White, the Chief Executive Officer of Tilitonse, the supporting partner of My City, My Space project. All invited guests, captains of industry, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Let me start with a little informality. If I say my city, can we all say my space? Is that okay? Good. My city. Okay. My city. My space. Very good. Okay. Great. That's the message we'll be saying, I think, until it sinks in us, all of us. My standing here, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, is just give context to what the campaign that we are launching today is all about and how it links to the National Waste Management Strategy, which you are also launching this evening. But allow me just to recognize and appreciate a few stakeholders that have made this happen, because once I sit down, I will not come back to the podium. We are so appreciative to you, Honorable Minister, that you could spare time and be with us at this event, knowing that this is a very busy time. This is a time when Parliament is sitting and there is so much that needs to be attended to, let alone the fact that the event is happening in Blantyre. It is not easy to have the Home Minister come and be with us. So I'm sure we are so privileged tonight, and I'm sure you can join me in applauding her for making that decision. I also want to thank the city of Blantyre, the city fathers, especially the mayor of the city, who is represented today by the deputy mayor. When we started this project, actually when Tritonse awarded us, we were not the only recipient of projects to do with urban governance in Malawi, but the city mayor was there at that function. And him being the chairperson of the Malawi Local Government Association was challenged to lead by example in as far as issues of urban governance are concerned, and particularly the fact that we have a project in the city of Blantyre that is promoting waste management. And I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that he and the entire Blantyre City Council are living up to their billing, because they have welcomed the project and they have provided the utmost support that is needed, demonstrating that they are willing to take the lead and to be a model of how we can improve our waste management and implement the National Waste Management Strategy. I also want to thank in a very special way our Tritonse partner, Tritonse Foundation, Mr. Robert White, who is here, and the entire team, but also by extension to thank the European Union and the Norwegian Embassy, who are the back donors of this support. We are so grateful to that, and there are so many stakeholders that I cannot begin to exhaust here. The organizing team, our partner trust group that I will be mentioning in a short while. You have been so good, and we look forward to continue working together. Let me say that the campaign that we are launching today is a campaign that is part of a project that we are calling My City, My Space, strengthening waste management systems for improved environment and community well-being. That's the full name of the project. Basically, this is a project that was born out of trying to address three key issues. Of course, we cannot address everything. There are so many challenges in waste, but we identified three issues that we thought we could try and contribute to. One of it being the regulatory environment with regard to issues of waste management in Malawi. We know, and all of us are witnesses to the fact that we need more we need our regulatory environment to become more functional, and that is why the ministry has been fighting in the courts to make sure that the thin plastics ban is actually come to enforcement, and that's why we are here celebrating that today. And there is much more that we can do, because it's one thing to win the case, it's one thing to say the ban is enforced, but it's another to ensure that we sustain the momentum to indeed make this ban a reality. So we are so appreciative as SEPA and stakeholders in the environment and natural resources for the leadership provided by the ministry to implement and to enforce the law in this regard. Now, within that scope of the regulatory environment, one of the issues that we felt and observed as SEPA is the fact that we have the National Waste Management Strategy, which apparently does not seem to have a lot of publicity. And I can tell you that we were sitting in a meeting one of these days last year as stakeholders, issues of environment and natural resources, both government, civil society, faith community, and we were asking ourselves how many of us know about the National Cleanup Campaign, and everybody said they do. And then we asked how many of us actually know that we have the National Waste Management Strategy. There was no one, apparently. No one seemed to be aware. And so we thought that that is a problem, because this is a strategy that says everything that we need to do managing waste. And if only we can implement the strategy in whatever little way in our own spaces, we can do a lot in alleviating the challenge of waste management in this country. So we said, as a commitment, we will contribute to making sure that this document, this framework is known by the public. And that is why we thought that we should actually use this time and use the space that we have in the project to have launch of not only the campaign that we are promoting, but also the strategy, because this even of the cleanup campaign, because the cleanup campaign is just one of the ways of inculcating public participation in issues of waste management. So we are glad that we can witness that occasion today, that this strategy can be launched, and hopefully we as Malawians are going to be partakers in ensuring that we implement what the strategy says. Having said that, the other challenge that we noted and we are trying to address through this project is the issue of infrastructure. By that, I'm referring to issues of the challenges in terms of waste collection, transportation, and disposal. We do not have adequate facilities, and this is a cry of not only Blantyre City, but all councils that we have in the country. And so we thought that perhaps there is something that we can do to contribute to that challenge. So what we are doing through the project is to pilot some small initiative in a small locality of Ndirande, where we know that the challenges of waste management are quite acute. And so what we are doing there is to promote a circular economy. Starting from the household, we segregate into different segments. As you were walking into this room, some of you may have notions of how you can segregate waste. And so far we are talking about three main categories. Those are some of the things, in landfill being the waste that will go into the land, things like diapers, sanitary pads and stuff like that. We also have compost, which is something that should not go to the dump site. We have to recycle it. And then we have the other type of recyclable waste, such as plastics and cans and stuff like that. So we are trying to promote that that is what should be happening at household level, not only in Ndirande, but all over. And then we are working with our partner Trust Group. I don't know if Johan is in here. Johan, could you please stand? Yeah. So, yeah, please, let's give them a clap offering. Thank you, Zodiak. So they are in terms of taking up the plastic waste, because they are involved in cycling plastic waste. So we are going to be constructing a waste separation station where plastic waste are going to be segregated and ensuring that the other waste goes into the other spaces like the organic and then the non-recyclable, which we are calling landfill. So they will be taking the plastics waste. Instead of it going to the dump site, what it means is that we are reducing pressure off the dump site, which we know also in a bad state in this country. So that is one way in which we are promoting the circular economy goes to our dump site. And then thirdly, but not least, is, ladies and gentlemen, when we see people dumping waste in the rivers, in our backyards, in fact, not only in Ndirande, Chirobwe and Chiromoni, but even in Mibawa, Sunside, and all the other places, it is not us, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are inherently bad or feeble, but it's how we have grown up as a people. It is the values that we hold. And that is why it is important that we should unlearn from. That is why we have this campaign. The idea is, can we change our mindset? Can we begin at waste differently? Because that is what ends up happening even in boardrooms, when people think that it is better to make profits than to invest in actually better incineration or even other forms of waste treatment in company. It's because we have grown up that way. We are not used to ensuring we treat and we manage waste well. It is like a strange culture. Now we are saying we have to use this campaign to unlearn from all of that so that we can begin to do things differently. And that is what this campaign is all about. Now we are inspired, and all our stakeholders, that it is possible. Why is it possible? We have seen things happen. We have our ability to do good. So for instance, in around 2015 or thereabouts, the corporate industry coming together, beautifying our ground next to them, it's because they were challenged to do that. We have seen when entries came, so many of them, good ones as well. And that demonstrates to us that it is possible. People are willing to. At the same time today, as we went out to Dylan, doing our cleanup, as being the second Friday of the month, when we were coming back, we were working with some few colleagues, and someone, in a grocery shop owner, followed us and started telling us and saying, you know what you are doing is something that can be done. If only you can bring this message time and again, and if everyone can take part, for sure it's possible to live in clean surroundings. And that to me said something, that people are willing to do something good, but they need to be encouraged to do so. Those that are the highest possible level, those of us that have hotels, when we are making decisions about whether it's supplies for packaging materials or anything else that we do, how can we make sure that we contribute to this agenda, that we reduce the amount of waste that we generate in the first place, so that we contribute to the implementation of the National Waste Management Strategy? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the agenda of My City, My Space campaign.
Thank you very much indeed. Her remarks coming from the heart. That's what happens when you're passionate. You can do going to show you a short video, 5 minutes max. And this management challenge that we have in this country, in the Blantyre city, I'm going to like it. So very shortly indeed, we should be giving this video and you should have it on your screen. Tukunena kuti pompano tikadionetsa kanema amene akutuza kuti kodi nkhani ya kusamala mizinda yathu pakadali pano ikuyenda bwanji. He talked about the logo competition, My City, My Space logo. We're going to unveil that logo today, and the winner is here, a very humble winner, young gentleman, and very exciting that we are going to see this together. Let's have the video, please.
Tikambe pang'ono sakuonongeka kwa chilengedwe chifukwa cha plastic. Panopa kulikonse komwe mungapite sizifunikanso kuti muchite kuyang'ana movutikira kwambiri. Muona plastic, kaya mabotolo, majumbo, kaya timapaketi tomwe munayi zinthu zosiyanasiyana zimene timagula m'magrocery mwathumu, muona kuti ndi plastic ochuluka kwambiri. Kopano maplastic amenewa akuononga kwambiri chilengedwe chathu. Chilengedwe ndi chomwe ifeyo ngati anthu siku ndi siku timadalira komanso timachifuna pamoyo wathu. Pali zifukwa zitatu ziwiri zimene zikupangisa kuti ino plastic amene tizimudalira. Choyambirira kwambiri, plastic ndopepuka. Chinanso plastic ndosavuta kupanga. Chilengedwe ndi plastic saola okukulukulu amasweka kapena kunyenyeka ndikukhala mu plastic wang'ono-ng'ono. Ndi plastic wang'ono-ng'ono ameneyo mphepo ikawomba amatha kutengera. Kafukufuku winanso waonesa kuti mpweya omwe tikupuma panopa mukumapezeka timaplastic ting'ono-ting'ono timenechi. Komanso plastic amene akasweka kukhala mu plastic tating'ono-ting'ono timenechi, mvula ikagwa amatengedwa plastic iyo tating'ono-ting'onochi, komanso wamkuyo yemwe tikupita mu mitsinje kapena m'nyanja zathu. Plastic amene tikuntaya amene timagwiritsa ntchito kamodzi ndiopsa. Kuopsa kwake koyamba ndikokuti plastic iyo saola, zomwe zikupangisa kuti tikamusakaniza ndi zinthu zimene zimatha kuola amatalikitsa nthawi yomwe zinthu zingatani zingaolera. Nyama zambiri zikufa chifukwa cha plastic. Chifukwa nyama zimatha ngati mbuzi kapena agalu amapezeka kuti adya plastic iyo, nkhuku zimene kapena mbalame zina zonse za mtundu wonse zikumadya plastic iyo kuona ngati chakudya. Ndi chomwe chimachitika choti nyama ikadya plastic simvanso njala. imangokhala yokhuta ndiye kuti sidaso pamapeto pake nyama ija imafa chifukwa cha njala. Mmene zili panopa tikafika mwina mu chaka cha 2050 zizakhala ndi plastic ochuluka olemera kuposa anthu tonse padziko lapansi. Mayiko ochepekedwa pa nkhani zachuma ngati lathu timamotcha plastic mwina pophika zinthu komanso mwina nthawi zizija mwina powotha ndi zina zotero. Ndeno utsi umene umachokera tikamotcha plastic umayambisa khansa komanso umayambisa matenda ena achifuwa. Ndeno mwina kwakuluku tisinthe mmene timagwirisira ntchito plastic. Mwachitsanzo tiyambe kugwirisa ntchito zinthu zimene zingathandize kusamala chilengedwe. Zinthu ngati kuti popita kusika tikhoza kutenga chikwama malo mwa jumbo chifukwa jumbo timayigwirisa ntchito kamodzi. Chikwama tikagwirisa ntchito lero mwina ndichigwirisanso ntchito miyezi 5 kapena yopitirira kuyemerekera mwinanso kwa chaka chonse. Njira zina ndingati kuti m'malo mopita kukagula madzi amabotolo aja tiziyenda ndi botolo lathu limene timasungiramo madzi lomwe tikhoza kugwirisa ntchito lero mwinanso mawa kapenanso mpaka na mwezi wa mawa chaka chonse botolo limene tikhoza kugwirisa ntchito. Tikamapita kukagula chakudya m'malo mopasidwa zija amati kabokosi ka take away mwina nondizipita ndi container yanga kapena chinthu chonse chimene kasungiramo chakudya chomwe ndikagwirisa ntchito lero mawaso ndigwirisa ntchito. M'malo mwa masupuni kapena mafoloko amene a plastic timapasidwa malo amene timadyera tiziyenda ndi mafoloko kapena masupuni athu achitsulo malo tipempheso malo amene amagwirisa zakudyazi azipereka mafoloko kapena masupuni kapena zinthu timbali toyikamo zakudya timene tiyoti ndikagwirisa ntchito lero mawaso ndigwirisa ntchito. Mawu azisangalalo mmapezeka timakapu tina lake tating'ono ta plastic timene ndimandikagwirisa ntchito kamodzi ndi makataya timene jaso titisiye amene tizigwirisa ntchito wa glasi kapena a plastic aja amene sitimagwirisa ntchito kamodzi. Ndi aliyense ali ndi udindo ndithu ndikuthekera kuchepesa vuto limene lakuonekera kwa chilengedwe chifukwa cha plastic kugwirisa ntchito zinthu zimene tingapewere kutaya plastic mu chilengedwe chathu. Tiyeni tigawane uthenga umene ziko kwambiri.
Pollution, what's the solution? Oh yeah, where is the world I know? I say we're reaping what we.
You'd be like, okay, what about the quality and stuff?
Absolutely. So Herbert said something very important. He said that people are very much willing and ready to do something. They just need to find their place. And art is obviously one of the most expressive ways that people are finding a way to communicate about waste management. But Kefas Matiki is also one of the young people out there that's been developing his own videos and putting them up on YouTube to raise awareness about the impacts of plastic. He's in this room tonight and we're very excited to partner with him to help him make more of these videos and spread more information about the impacts of plastics and to promote waste management. We're going to meet him later tonight. For now, I think I will try to skip us right into the next part of our evening.
Sure, proceed. Okay, sure. Thank you very much indeed. So expect more great videos from KFC in months to come. He's ready to do more than what you have seen today. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this point in time to invite the CEO to the Tonse Foundation, and this is none other than Mr. Robert White. To the Tonse Foundation, the sponsors of this program earlier on alluded to by Herbert Malukoma. Welcome, please, Mr. Robert White. Thank you. A big round of applause for him as he walks in front. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director of Ceremonies. Ordinarily, you would expect somebody to use the glasses when reading on paper, but I'm removing them and you're wondering why. I'm short-sighted. So I'll read better when I don't have the glasses on. Our guest of honor, the Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources, Honorable Nancy Tembo, who is also an MP, the Director of Administration in the Ministry of Forestry and Natural Resources, and all staff that have accompanied the Minister present here, the Deputy Mayor of the Blantyre City Council, Mr. Joseph Makwinja, and the staff from the Blantyre City Council, present here, the Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Policy and Advocacy, SEPA, Mr. Herbert Marukomo, and your members of staff, the Director of Trust, who is amongst us, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm standing here before you on behalf of the Titonse Foundation as an interested party in waste management, but also as a key player in urban governance and management in Malawi. Just to give you a background of who we are as the Titonse Foundation, we are a local organization which was established in 2016, to be exact on the 22nd of September, and it operates within the not-for-profit sphere as an NGO. The foundation works in the government sector, and our mandate as the Titonse Foundation is operationalized in 3 strands: grant making and management, organizational development, and partnership and networking. Now, as the Titonse Foundation, we support what we call non-state actors. And non-state actors comprise community-based organizations, local non-government organizations, international non-government organizations, networks and coalitions, and umbrella organizations, and support these with grants and capacity development support to implement effective projects targeting individuals and communities. In the work that we do, we also do advocacy and policy engagement, and this targets government, development partners, and the private sector. Our belief as an organization, as the Titonse Foundation, is that increased capacity of non-state actors and promotion in the levels of citizen engagement in accountability, responsiveness, and inclusivity would help us to develop as a nation, as a country, for us to meet our aspirations as Malawi. It is for this belief, ladies and gentlemen, that we partner with different organizations to promote accountable, responsive, and inclusive governance in Malawi. And as an organization, we mobilize resources to support these efforts. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, what brings us here, as it has already been alluded to, is SEPA. SEPA has been our partner for the past 2 years, since 2019, I should say 3 years. And we've supported them in 2 different projects, including the one that brings us here, which is entitled My City, My Space. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the project that brings us here is one of the 5 projects that we are supporting in urban governance and management in Malawi. And these will be implemented from November 2020 up to February 2022. The foundation in all is supporting 25 grant partners, which are in different themes. But on urban governance and management, we are supporting 5 grant partners who are implementing projects in cities, the 4 cities of the country, and the Mangochi municipality. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, Titonse Foundation has committed about 688,000 euros, approximately 700 million euros, for a period of 15 months to support the projects that I've just mentioned on urban governance and management. They are being implemented in Mzuzu, Lilongwe, Zomba, Blantyre, and Mangochi. And the foundation in these projects is supporting 4 local NGOs, 1 international NGO, and 1 community-based organization, which is the Concerned Youth Organization, implementing a project here in Blantyre. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the Titonse Foundation would want to reiterate its commitment to support projects that are aimed at improving urban governance and management in Malawi through grants, capacity development, research and learning, but also to engage in policy influence. Our focus, Honorable Minister, on urban governance and management falls within one of our research areas as Titonse Foundation, which is on local governance. And the decision to work on urban governance and management was informed by a political economy analysis that the Titonse Foundation commissioned in 2019. Some of the key findings from that study, Honorable Minister, were that there is weak community participation structures and mechanisms for dialogue and feedback within the urban centers, within our city councils. But again, that there's a weak presence and limited focus of civil society organizations on urban governance and management. And this is one of the reasons why we decided to support organizations like SEPA to implement this project in Blantyre. These two findings compelled us as Titonse Foundation to engage in supporting non-state actors to fill the gaps that we had identified in order to ensure that citizens and civil society organizations play a role in urban governance and management, and that there are some mechanisms to facilitate their participation and involvement. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the launch of the National Waste Management Strategy by government, which you are going to undertake, through your ministry, is a clear indication that you are committed to addressing the problem that we are facing as a country on waste management. And the campaign which SEPA is also launching today surely would support those efforts that government has put in place. I, Honorable Minister, and all ladies and gentlemen, feel privileged to stand before you this evening and be part of this occasion. Let me assure you, Honorable Minister, that as the Titonse Foundation we will work towards putting in more resources towards governance interventions in this country, and more importantly, to support urban governance and management interventions, including waste management. We believe that urban governance and management is critical to promoting economic development and the well-being of Malawians through the provision of essential services, which is a key component of the government of Malawi's key aspirations. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me at this point thank the development partners that have availed their resources to us as Titonse Foundation. And these are the Royal Norwegian Embassy and the EU delegation in Malawi. For they have provided technical as well as financial support. But at the same time, let me also thank you, Honorable Minister, and your ministry for honoring this occasion and for the numerous initiatives you are undertaking. Some of us follow a lot the activities that you undertake through TV, on Facebook, and other social platforms. And I would want to commend you for the good job that you are doing. And personally, as well as on behalf of Titonse Foundation, we wish you all the best. Let me also thank SEPA and its partner, Truth, for initiating this project and the impressive work that has so far been undertaken. And lastly, Honorable Minister, let me recognize the work that the Blantyre City Council is undertaking in addressing waste management and all the other development initiatives. But more importantly, let me recognize the space that you're providing for civil society. It's not easy for us from the civil society to work with councils, but in Blantyre, you've showed us that you're a welcoming council, you accommodate different views and you accommodate different stakeholders. That should be commended. Please express our appreciation to the mayor and the staff of the council for the space that they've provided to civil society organizations. Finally, let me thank the Honorable Minister for availing himself to this opportunity to be part of the campaign that we as the Tritons Foundation are supporting on sustainable waste management in Blantyre City. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Robert White, CEO, Tritons Foundation. Many thanks indeed for your remarks. We appreciate that. We're going to skip Yanko for a while. He will come to perform just after the minister has delivered her speech. And in that regard, shortly I should be calling the Director of Administration in the Ministry of Forest and Natural Resources. This is none other than Mr. Hilary Namaija, to deliver his brief remarks, and thereafter proceed to invite you, Honorable Minister of Forest and Natural Resources, Honorable Nancy Tembo MP, to launch this great and amazing program, My City, My Space, and also you proceed to launch the National Waste Management Strategy for Malawi. My City, My Space. My City, My Space. My Space. Oh yeah, sure. Welcome please, Mr. Namaija. Big round of applause for him as he walks forward. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you your space now, and then you give the space to the Honorable Minister. Thank you.
My city, my space. My city, my space. Thank you so much, Director of Ceremonies. Our guest of honor tonight, Minister of Forest and Natural Resources, Honorable Nancy Tembo MP, the Deputy Mayor of the City of Blantyre, Councillor Makwinja, the Chief Executive Officer for Tritons Foundation, Mr. Robert White, the Board Chairperson for Center for Environmental Policy and Advocacy, SEPA, Ms. Karen Price, the Executive Director of SEPA, Mr. Herbert Mwalokomo, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My humble duty this evening is to invite our guest of honor to officially launch the National Waste Management Strategy and My City, My Space campaign for waste management in the city of Blantyre. But before I do that, allow me, Honorable Minister, to make a few remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that one of the major environmental challenges that we are grappling with as a country is the management of waste, both solid and liquid. There is rampant indiscriminate disposal of solid waste in open spaces, roadsides, rivers, and stormwater drains. Waste disposal facilities in our major cities are in a bad state, and waste collection capacity for disposal is still very low. And this is at around 30%. In addition, our cities do not have properly engineered landfills due to the high investment costs associated with establishment of these facilities. As a result, water management problems is large and more pronounced in the cities, municipalities, towns, trading centers, and market centers across the country. For instance, Blantyre City produces about 450 tons of waste, which is 30 15-ton lorries per day. Just imagine that. The four cities in Malawi together generate over 1,000 tons in solid waste over 66 15-tonner lorries per day. The waste stream includes municipal, industrial, and hazardous wastes in other emerging waste streams, such as electric and electronic waste, which we call e-waste, and tires, which are growing due to increasing industrialization in the country. Growth of information and communication technologies and large imports of second-hand items. More recently, disposal of baby diapers and face masks from the COVID-19 pandemic has compounded the problem at the municipal level. As a ministry, we are extremely grateful to SEPA for conceptualizing this initiative called My City, My Space, strengthening waste management systems for improved environment and community well-being, that the Honorable Minister is launching tonight. Alongside the National Waste Management Strategy that government formulated for the period 2019 to 2023. This initiative is very timely as it seeks to implement the waste management strategy in the long term. It will help Malawi to achieve aspirations of the Malawi Growth and Development Strategy 3 on environmental sustainability, whose strategies include promotion of public participation in environment management programs. At the global level, the initiative will assist in the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, particularly Goal number 11 on sustainable cities and communities, and Goal number 12 on the responsible production and consumption. I, therefore, would like to commend SEPA, Tiritonse Foundation, and Blantyre City Council for their collaboration to conceive and implement this initiative. It is our expectation that the best practices from the initiative will inform the replication of similar initiatives to the other cities as a way of complementing government efforts of addressing the waste management problems. With these few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite our guest of honor, Minister for Forestry and Natural Resources, Honorable Nancy G. Tembo, to address this gathering and to officially launch the My City, My Space initiative, as well as the National Waste Management Strategy. I thank you all. Thank you.
My city. My space. My city.
My space.
My space.
My city.
This space looks pretty, very beautiful. Congratulations to the organizers. Let me first of all acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Mayor of the City of Blantyre, Councillor Makwinja, and all councillors from the city. Mr. Namainja, representing the Principal Secretary, Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources. Mr. Robert White, Chief Executive Officer, Tiritonse Foundation. Ms. Karen Price, the Board Chairperson for Center for Environmental Policy and Advocacy, SEPA. Mr. Herbert Molokomo, the Executive Secretary, SEPA, Executive Director, sorry. Members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I would like to welcome the Master of Ceremony, but also to join him in welcoming you. This very auspicious occasion is an occasion that is a game changer for Malawi. We are here to launch the National Waste Management Strategy and the My City, My Space campaign for waste management in Blantyre City. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this historic occasion, which marks the beginning of more collaboration between government and non-state actors in the pursuit of good waste management in this country. The Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources formulated the National Waste Management Strategy to guide effective waste management in the country. The strategy provides a holistic framework for waste management by guiding actions of regulatory bodies, the public, and stakeholders under the following areas. The first one being policy formulation and implementation. Secondly, inculcation of a responsible citizenry behavior on waste management. And thirdly, promotion of waste segregation at source. Fourth, promotion of resource recovery from waste. Fifth, promotion of waste treatment. And finally, establishment of sound infrastructure for waste management. Recognizing the need for broad-based participation to ensure success, the strategy specifically includes non-government organizations as one of the key actors. It is therefore pleasing to note that SEPA has responded to this call by developing and implementing the project called My City, My Space, strengthening waste management systems for improved environment and community well-being. By promoting individual actions of waste management, the project speaks directly to multiple objectives of the National Waste Management Strategy, including policy implementation, inculcation of responsible public behavior, and waste segregation. As we launch the strategy today, I would like to call upon all of us as Malawians and residents of Malawi to participate in holistic waste management in our own spaces and in partnership with local councils. I therefore call upon the citizens and the residents of Blantyre City, where this launch is taking place, to actively participate in reducing, reusing, and recycling of waste to keep the city clean so that other cities can learn. And indeed, coming into Blantyre, one gets the impression that Blantyre City Council is doing its best. And other cities can learn from Blantyre, Blantyre being the mother city of all cities in Malawi. Please, let's clap your hands for him. Let me also take this opportunity to call upon the private sector to contribute to the implementation of the National Waste Management Strategy through adherence to responsible waste management standards and to invest in waste recycling initiatives. To our development partners, we need your continued support in waste management for us to create sustainable cities and to secure the health and well-being of Malawians' growing urban population. We do need your support. It is therefore my hope that My City, My Space project will catalyze development of more projects and partnerships for scaling up the waste management pilot actions of the project, not only in Blantyre City, but nationwide. I wish to indicate that government is committed to, has since been closed for, sorry, I think I lost something. Government is committed to creating an enabling environment for waste management as demonstrated through the formulation of a national waste management strategy, which we are launching today, the banning of and manufacturing and distribution of, sale and importation of and use of thin plastics which have a thickness of less than 60 microns. We have resumed enforcement of the thin plastic ban after the High Court removed the injunction by Gordon Plastics 2 weeks ago. And we are taking this very seriously. We have since inspected over 20 manufacturers for compliance. Aeroplastics has since been closed for defying the ban, and 600 bales of thin plastics have been confiscated from Rainbow Plastics shops. And the launch by the head of the state of Malawi for cleanup, the issue of thin plastic is part of our cleaning up the city. Every market on the road from Blantyre to Lilongwe has thin plastic flying all over the place. It is a shame for Malawi to have these blue plastic papers floating all over the place. And I hope that this ban and that the manufacturers of this plastic are being taken to task and are being shamed can send a strong message to the citizens. Our head of state launched the cleanup campaign, and today was cleanup. It's not just about today. It's about every day of our lives being cleanup day. We have to have an environment that is conducive to just the well-being of all of us. And so it is pleasing to note that this event was preceded by a cleanup exercise this afternoon, indeed demonstrating that the civil society organizations have embraced the campaign and that you are all working together with government towards achieving our constitutional right to a clean environment, a clean and healthy environment. Finally, allow me to thank the Tilitonse Foundation for supporting SEPA and its partners to implement such an innovative project on waste management in Blantyre City. A vote of thanks also to the city of Blantyre. Like I said earlier on, you are leading by example, and I hope all the other cities follow suit. And we congratulate you for welcoming and owning the My City, My Space project. With these remarks, I would like to declare Malawi's National Waste Management Strategy and My City, My Space campaign officially launched. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Let's give our Honorable Minister another round of applause for a speech well delivered. Every time she speaks, it comes from the heart. And that is really quite impressive. So what we want to do now is to officially launch this strategy in terms of a symbolic kind of presentation. And what is going to happen is that I'll call upon representatives of different organizations, sectors, to come and be part of this great ceremony which we're about to do in a moment. And first of all, let me invite the Deputy Mayor, Blantyre City Council, to walk in front, please. SEPA, representative, please come forward. Tilitonse, you're invited. Not too sure if you have a representative from SEPA board, but if not, well and good. Yes, Panakawia, please, you can join us in front. So, Gloria, maybe you may just give Honorable Minister a copy of the National Waste Management Strategy so that she can do the honors and then later on distribute a copy to the rest of the members that are in the room. So this is just a representation, but you all deserve a copy because we are all part of this.
You know, this strategy, normally we have ribbons that we cut to launch documents and strategies, but because we're now in Nigeria, where we really would like to conserve and use biodegradable stuff, when we don't have ribbons to cut, just this nice, lovely paper flower that I've cut. And so we have launched our National Waste Management Strategy. I really hope it's not just a book. I really hope it's not just a book, but something that we're going to make use of. It said that Malawi.
Okay, all right, good.
It is said that Malawi has so many strategies lying in shelves, so many plans that we formulate and just leave to sleep, and we don't use them. I hope this particular one, is one that is going to be used for the benefit of Malawi, and that everybody will ensure that we do what is in this strategy, because waste management is not government responsibility alone. It is everybody's responsibility, and we have to take time to popularize it in our villages, local leadership, traditional leaders. Everybody has their role to play. I thank you and congratulate the people that have formulated the strategy. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay.
I do hope you have it in the hand.
So the Deputy Mayor has a copy, SEP has a copy, Tritons has a copy, and Banakawia on behalf of SEP as well. We have got young people. Dominic Nyasula, are you in the room? Do you want to resist on behalf of young people in Malawi? Please come forward. National Youth Network on Climate Change, so he's going to get a copy as well. I hope you make it. It's tough, eh? Yeah, you got your space. That's it. That's the spirit. Thank you. And there you are. Good. Young people are vital. Very necessary. Thank you very much indeed. We really appreciate. The rest of you, I think, do you have to resume? Should they go and resume their seats? The next thing now.
Okay. So, Honorable Minister, we would like to invite you to help us to present the different recognitions to two very important people in this room. The first is the winner of the My City, My Space logo design. We had over 200 entries into the competition, and we had to select one winner, and who has designed the logo that will symbolize the campaign and would be a very important part of our efforts towards this agenda for the next few years, and probably for a longer time than that. We will also be recognizing Mr. Fasmatiki, who will be receiving support towards developing more content to raise awareness on single-use plastics, and this will be in form of financial support.
Sure, so the first thing we're going to unveil the logo. and then we'll present something to the winner. So you can just check in front here. That's the logo for My City, My Space. A big round of applause indeed for such a great and wonderful logo. Who did this? I know. Would like to see the young man behind this great design. Are you in the building? Please majestically walk in front. Yeah, so that's the name, Prince Folly. That's right. That's the name, Prince Folly. Quite a humble young man, indeed. Let's give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, young man. The future is fresh. And now we are going to have a presentation, a check presentation. So he's getting about 500? 200,000, yes, 200,000. 50,000 Malawi kwacha. 250,000 Malawi kwacha. Good job, good job. Thank you very much indeed.
We also had 2 runner-ups who will be getting a prize of 150,000 and 100,000 each, respectively. If our 2 runner-ups could please come to the front. Shortly, okay.
They didn't show.
So using this mic
Good job, good job, good job. Thank you very much. Young people are doing great things. Yes, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. So 100,000 kwacha each. Yeah, so do you have the names, Gloria?
We have Kumbo Nyirenda. We've got Kumbo Nyirenda and Blessings Dama.
Very right. Kumbo and Blessings, congratulations. Congratulations, everyone. Let's give them another round of applause as they resume their seats. Because of our calabansi. Then the minister will do one more final thing, and that is to present a check to Kefas Matip so that he can be able to do more of those great videos. Kefas, please come forward. Kefas. Thank you. Exactly. Ziambandia Chinyamata Chonch. So that's your check. You can do better than that. A big round of applause for Mr. Kefasi. Thank you so much. He did more videos. Very creative, so that we can continue to learn more about how best we can improve our waste management situation in the country. Thank you very much indeed, and we wish you all the best. Gloria.
Thank you very much, Matthews. Thank you very much, Honorable. Take your seat.
It's in the packet.
Yeah,